New AI generated muffler. It's actually not too far away.
Hey, you can.
Generative. What's up?
This a little closer.
Oh, did I almost scratch them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? Oh. Yeah, that's. You're like, ah! What are you doing? Don't scratch the shit. All right, y'all. Let us know who's joining us. Give us a little shout out. Say hello as you come in. We got some stuffs for you. And apologize for our tardiness. I was in the middle of a phone call with a friend. His son was in surgery earlier this week, and we were talking about business shenanigans and whatnot. I brought sushi in for the boys for lunch. That was nice. We did not end up with much sushi left over, which is always a good sign. Leftover sushi is not generally something you want to have the next day. Just life tip for you. Probably more like call out on Sunday.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Just DSM, Rob S. How are you? Did you get any more drives in that beautiful red car? Just DSM. We want to do an interview with you, Justin. Once you've gotten some time in the car, we'd love to have like a little kind of one of our Whiskey Friday Academy kind of setups. So we'll send you a camera, send you a mic, and we can do a remote kind of thing. I can ask you some questions. We can talk about your experience with the install, with the development, with all that. Just kind of get that on paper and whatnot. Oh, what's up, Hayes the Hides? Yeah, we did indeed miss Luft. We did indeed miss Luft. We couldn't get out there for all the air-cooled goodness. We saw Crystal was in attendance, and looks like everybody had a good time. Looks like it was well attended. Lots of really cool cars there. Love that they put the umlaut cars with the singers. That was pretty sweet. More Soul Bourbon tonight. It is delicious. Happy Whiskey Friday, Orist. I did not get your invoice done. Ted is off today. I was counting on him doing it. I forgot he's on vacation, but I'll try and work on it in the morning. Awesome. Good to hear. I don't know how those springs came off in the first place. That's crazy that they came off at all. So glad they're on there and don't have to sweat it. All right, let's talk a little bit about this little Skeletor we got here. Well, first, we'll talk about these, because this is really cool. This is our new tip design that Charles came up with. They are vented, as you can see, and kind of see, let me get them in the light, maybe? Yeah, you can kind of see it in that picture a little bit better than you can here. Anyway, they're vented, and we made an experiment. We polished them and did them in PVD black, like our other PVD coated tips. And they look amazing. They look amazing. So these are 3D printed. We had the rest of it, I think it's zinc coated. I forget what it is. Electrophoresis. That's what it is. The rest of it's black. And then we polished and did PVD black on the rest of the tips that are 3D printed, and they look great. So these are for our lifetime mufflers. These will be an option coming up soon for all of our steel lifetime mufflers. We have a similar tip that we have for our tie mufflers, and Dylan took a picture of that muffler just today. Do you have that one that you can send to Justin, or does Justin already have it? All right. So Dylan's going to send that to Justin here in a sec. We'll share that with you guys. So that'd be a new option for our tie mufflers. We don't have it priced out yet, but if you write to us and say, hey, I want that new fancy vented Y-sock tip on my tie muffler, we can make that happen. Couple guys have them real early, but we're going to talk a little bit about what makes a lifetime muffler a lifetime muffler. This has been an evolution a few years. few years. So you guys go all the way back to 997 mufflers. The issue with them was that the back of them, so I'll pick this up here briefly, this section where this one's bent, you can see that part would, it's called oil canning, when you have something that is flat and it gets vacuum and pressure put on it, and it kind of pops out and pops in and pops out and pops in, kind of like the lid on a pickle jar, right? When you first open it, it pops open, and then somehow I got that right back where it goes. That's cool. And then you can kind of push it in and out. If that were to happen thousands of times, with every pressure wave that goes through the muffler, and it didn't have any support behind it, like the stock 997 muffler or the 991 mufflers do, they do not have any extra support back there, then eventually they're going to vibrate and they're going to crack. And so if you guys have heard about the 997 mufflers that over time, especially the Thai versions, excuse me, they crack over time, that's why. That's why there's no support back there. It's also because it's a flat plane. It comes straight down. It's a flat piece of sheet metal. Now it has some corrugations in it that they stamped in it. The stock mufflers from Porsche are stamped sheet metal and kind of wrapped around, if you will. These are slightly curved on the back. So you can see that there's tiny bit of curvature in the back, and that tiny bit of curvature gives us a lot more strength. I'll come back to that, Jack. That's definitely the science on there about the fourth tube on the 981 headers. So in essence, what we built here is a submarine, right? This is how a submarine is made. So we've got gussets, if you will, and then we've got bands holding all the gussets together. So all of these plates both have holes that the tubes inside are welded to, and they support the skin throughout the entire length of the muffler. And we also have support from the cross braces. Each one of these tabs goes through the skin, and that's where the skin locates. And then we fuse these tabs down into the skin like a rivet. So that's something that's happened over time and experience. Now we are 3D printing the end plates. They are not stamped anymore. And you can kind of see on the inside, maybe? Yeah, there we go. So here, that there's reinforcing ribs there. They are indeed ribbed for your longevity, something like that. So yeah, you can see them back there. So little cross hatch pattern, makes them lighter, makes them stronger. So that's what's going on with Lifetime mufflers. And the Thai mufflers are built very similarly. Built very, very similar. There's the shiny goodness. Shiny goodness. Up there in your upper left, you can see the new titanium rolled Weissach tips for the Thai mufflers. For those of you who need quiet tips, I would hold on for a little bit if you want Weissach tips, because we need to redesign the quiet tips to work with the Weissach tips. We're pretty sure they'll work, but we haven't gotten that all the way across the line quite yet. Jack has a question, science question for you. On the 981 GT4 headers, you had some type of extra fourth tube. Some type of extra fourth tube we did have, yes. Can you briefly talk about the science behind that and perhaps why it is not on your other header designs? Sure. So the 981 GT4 was one of the few headers that we actually built to the factory connection point with the rear muffler. Most every other header, in fact, every other header that we have made, we don't go to the factory connection point. And we're able to make the headers the appropriate length. So I'm not going to say equal length or long tube or short tube. We're going to talk about the appropriate length, the tuned length, so that we can get the most horsepower possible out of the engine for the usable RPM range that that engine is used over. So one of the ways that we can, I'll say, cheat a little bit, is if we add a fourth tube, we can get the wave timing, and I'll go back and talk about that because you're gonna be like, who gives a shit about wave timing? Exhaust work because of a lack of back pressure, right, Jamie? Exactly. It's called pull the potato out of your tailpipe, and all of a sudden you made more horsepower. It's crazy. Ted and I, was that Ted and I talking about that? I think so. Ted and I wanted to do a video where we shove potatoes in tailpipes to make them have more horsepower. And we put them on the dyno and see what happens. See if they actually make more horsepower. I'm pretty sure they don't. But the back pressure went up. Doesn't that mean they make more horsepower? Pretty sure, right? More back pressure, more torque. No, that's not how this works. But that's what the internet would like you to believe, unfortunately. So anyway, the way an exhaust works is you have an explosion happen, pushes the piston down. So there's pressure that's formed. It pushes the piston down. Piston comes back up, squeezes out all the exhaust out of the cylinder. It's at really high pressure, goes into the exhaust, right? So if we were able to create a low pressure zone in the exhaust tube itself, right as the exhaust valve's opening, then we're going to help suck out some of the exhaust that's in the cylinder, right? We're going to give it a little bit of help such that it's not having to push against any pressure in the tube. It's actually being sucked out of the cylinder. That's called scavenging. The way we make that happen is by timing the returning wave, meaning the length, and when it would reflect the wave as it's coming back to the cylinder. So the wave goes down the tube, it hits an expansion. That first expansion is the collector, and then it reflects and it changes its polarity, if you will. It changes its shape. So if it was a positive pressure wave, it's now going back as a negative pressure wave or a vacuum wave. It has a different shape. And through that, if we control the timing right, then we get it back to the cylinder when the next combustion event, when the next exhaust event is occurring, and we can help suck out gases out of the cylinder. This is how we make extra horsepower, because Porsche in general and most modern engines will retain exhaust gases in the cylinder intentionally so that they can burn nitrous oxide over and over again, turn it from NO to NO2 to NO3 to NO4, and every time you reburn it, it gets a little heavier, it gets oxidized a little more, becomes less and less reactive in the environment, which is good for all of the fishies and amphibians and the birds. That's good. Not good for horsepower. So by being able to extract more of the gases that are building up in the cylinder, we in essence make the engine not necessarily bigger, but more like its actual size, right? So if it was 4 liter, maybe it was 3.9 liters, 3.85 liters of actual combustion, and 0.15 or 0.1 liters of retained exhaust gases in the cylinder. So we can suck those out, we get all the way back up to 4 liters again. Groovy. We've improved the volumetric efficiency of the engine, and we improve the horsepower, right? So we have more fuel and air that can go into the cylinder, and we can make it make more power. So what's the fourth tube do? The fourth tube is helping us with scavenging and wave timing, because we weren't able to make the runners on the 981 to exactly the length we wanted to. It is specifically there to help with getting a returning wave, because if you look at it, it's going to go at the collector, it's going to run down that tube, reflect off the end, and come back up to the exhaust. It also gives us a collector that has more area to expand into, so it's going to expand into more area. So we're going to get a more reflection. That's the gist. That's the gist. So it's an intentional piece to help with wave timing and wave reflection. It is not, as some have said, a Helmholtz resonator for sound. It is not a dead runner to, I don't even know what some other people on the internet have come up with. So all the things that you read on Facebook groups and Renlist are probably wrong. So, and we have run these without it. We have run them with it. There is a distinct difference in both sound because of power and power for these with that. The reason you don't see this on a lot of our other parts, I already answered. It's because we have enough room to get the headers the right length. We don't need a fourth tube. So, who else has got some questions for me tonight? Lay them on here. We'll come back to them. We hired a lot of folks here in the last 2 weeks. So we've got. I appreciate that, Dylan. That's nice. Maybe I should sell exhausts and like own an exhaust company or some shit, since I know so much about it. And I will say this: all of that I learned from Charles. I did not know that before we started Dunn Motorsports. That's why Charles's name is on the building. So I'm just the guy that writes the checks. Well, I had a little more than that most of the time, but I do also write checks. Let's see, we hired Dylan, No Kells Realty. I didn't realize he was a realtor. Might have to buy a house from him, although he'd probably quit if I did that. So maybe I don't buy a house from him. In real time, Jamie says something and then goes, "Oh, that's not right." They're not ready yet. Turbo Burke. We're figuring out how to get them on there so that we can. That is the posters will be something that Kurt is working on, and we'll ping him on Monday about that. So, what else? So we hired Dylan. Dylan hit the ground running. He's already produced a couple great shorts for us. He was just over taking pictures at Spec German of Chris Walter's new, really, really nice. Realty is no longer. Chris Walter's beautiful Oslo Blue. There it is. Oslo Blue 3.8 RS. Stripper spec, no AC, no radio. Beautiful car, one of one. Got a full-time muffler and street header kit. Very excited for him to go and enjoy. I think this is his driver, 3.8 RS. He has a 4.0 RS. So yeah, these are shots that Dylan took. He produced a nice video. He's getting a lot of great product shots for us. It's nice to have more than like half a photographer in the building. Would you say, Justin? Because like half your time was a quarter, yeah, a quarter of a photographer in the building, so that Justin can start to offload and get rid of the PTSD of always being asked for pictures and where is this and where is that, and he can just Justin can just concentrate on our long form videos. Maybe we can get him back into doing instructional videos, some of that kind of stuff. We can actually just start to get those gears turning without so many distractions and little things. We cleaned up upstairs quite a bit here, so we got rid of 2 whole racks, which is amazing. Moved a whole lot of stuff into the dyno cell. We made a bunch of room in there for old excess bends and like scrap bin stuff, you know, things that we keep in a pile in case we might want it. Mr. Hank Cohn, I can answer that. That is not too far off the normal topics. I can talk about GT3 PCCB brakes and firm pedal. Who else started? Caleb's been here for 2 weeks now? End of week 2? Yep, end of week 2. So, Kate.
Because I got a bunch of broken stuff to go fix.
All right. See ya.
See you Monday.
Caleb, you might remember, was here with us previously, and he had some life things go on he had to take care of, and those are taken care of, and he's back, and we are very happy to have him. He's been kicking ass. Happy Aloha Friday, Mike. Mike is getting himself potentially a 992.2, maybe. I don't know. We were chatting earlier via text about that earlier this week. So I know a number of you are waiting on our 4RS Manthe video, I2M as well. And it isn't for a lack of trying. It was just there were a lot of distractions this week with a bunch of new employees, a bunch of cleanup, a bunch of stuff going on. So Justin lost almost a day and a half this week, probably more like 2 days, to clean up and moving shit and all that, getting Dylan set up so that Dylan has all the things, getting him, you know, like neutral density filters for the camera and all that. So Justin will be back, I'll say part-time on videos, because he's going to be welding a tie muffler next week as well. So just so that Charles can take a break and another set of eyeballs can weld the new version tie mufflers in our argon bubble. So we'll see how that goes. But that we might give Justin a couple days to get this video a little bit closer before we have him do that. All right, so let's get to Hank's question. So Hank, I'm going to ask you a slew of questions, and it's going to take a minute for the answer to show up, just because the internet is not as instantaneous as one might think. What pads are you using with your PCC brakes? How many miles are on the car? Are the rotors the original PCCBs? What fluid are you using? And what are you comparing to for firmness? That's what she said. Just in case Simon was lurking, I got it out before he would. So we'll wait for Hank to come back with that. Stock pads, okay, that's the first issue. $1,000 miles on new pads, original rotors. How many miles on the rotors? SRF 600, good. Good. Have they bled your ABS with the P-Wiz when they bled it? So they actually bleed it with the computer hooked up on the car to get all of the old fluid out of the ABS module. Have you had your rotors checked to see that they are still in spec? P-Wiz bleed, yes, good, okay. Lots of miles on the rotors, okay. So that could be part of it. For what it's worth, I am not a fan of ceramic rotors for track cars. 50,000 miles on the rotors. I think we've identified what some of the issue is. I would, at the very least, look at going to a Girodisc iron upgrade. If the car is exclusively a track car, you might want to think about a PFC steel upgrade. The feel and the pad selections are substantially better in steel, in my opinion, especially for release, brake release. They're much better. I think your rotors are not in great shape. Have they been checked? Have you taken them and had them looked at for thickness and density? No, about spec. Okay, you said that. Yeah, so I would take them to the dealer and have them measured. They may charge you for it. I bet you your rotors are shot. That's probably major part of the issue. If and when they say they are, then you will have some choices to make. The most inexpensive upgrade for a ceramic car is a Girodisc iron upgrade. Okay. It's possible you could have a master cylinder leak. It's possible. You could start throwing parts of it. I've not heard of an ABS pump being the problem, and you would probably have an ABS fault because there's pressure sensors in there, and it would know if it's not getting to the right levels. But at 50,000 miles on your ceramic rotors, that's I think that's a little bit past, especially if a lot of those were on track. So ceramic rotors last a long time, but they do not last forever. And if you track them, they are going to run into issues in that regard. Pucks between pistons and pads are more about making squeak. You can eliminate them if you want, but they shouldn't change pedal feel. So get some data on the rotors. I would upgrade the rotors and get pads and see what you want. We will be having a sale coming up. Black Friday is surprisingly right around the corner. Our Black Friday sale typically starts 1st of November. We run it for the whole month. Every year Black Friday starts earlier and earlier. You got to get in front of people to kind of get their attention. PFC kits will be 10% off. We just had a sale on Labor Day, so over a month ago, for a week for Labor Day. And we didn't move a lot of PFC kits for the summer, but damn, we moved a lot of them for that sale. So, so yeah. Jamie Luna, what's the proper way to drain all the oil from a GT car? Open every drain and let the car sit there for about 5 or 6 hours. That's the proper way. It will slowly come out and you will get a lot more out of it. Ideally, the car is warm so that the oil is not as viscous. Everybody loves the Dun sale, absolutely. We only have them a couple a year, but yeah, things go quick. Things go quick. So if it's something that you're interested in, Hank, reach out. We can help you out in that regard. If you want a PFC kit, PFCs, they got hacked. I think ransomware attacked. Disassemble the engine. Yeah, that's the way to get all the out of the oil all of the oil out. There we go. That was tongue twister for some reason. PFC. Say again? PFC, thank you. So PFC got hacked earlier this year, I think August timeframe. We think it was ransomware. And they had some hard time shipping some stuff. they actually got their inventory back working by getting some documents from PFC Europe from that time, and were able to start to ship some things again. So we got 4 of the kits that we had ordered, and we can continue to get them now. So there you go. Cool. Jamie Luna, you're welcome. 992 GT3 Lab Rat.
PFCs.
With PFCs, indeed. Our Lab Rat will have PFCs as soon as it's back, probably starting on Monday. That and slightly softer springs. We're going to put the spring rates back that we had in there in the middle of summer and put PFCs on and get our C125 hooked up and a bunch of our other new instrumentation on the car. I'll get some things ordered for Caleb to help us with on the install, which will be really cool. And then Mike and Chris will join us in analyzing some squiggly lines from the 9923RS as we get it 100% dialed. So we're going to start a series on that where we run through the data and we educate you guys about what we're looking at, what we're seeing, why we're looking at that data. We're going to have 4-position laser ride height. We're going to have shock potentiometers. We're going to have TPMS, so high-speed TPMS, so that we can actually measure tire shock when you're going over a bump really fast and the tire squishes. We'll be able to see that spike in pressure inside the carcass of the tire, because the tire, the damper, the spring, that total stack kind of dictates the spring rate, the kind of total spring rate for the car. We're also going to have a bunch of a very fancy piece of equipment from Obsidian Engineering, or Obsidian Motorsport Engineering. I forget what Sanders' company's name is, but it's a really high-speed GPS and inertial measurement unit. So it can measure yaw and roll and pitch and the angular velocity for pitch and the angular velocity for roll and the angular velocity for yaw at 200 hertz. You can actually do it at 400 hertz, but I don't think our logger can take that much data. So that'll be really cool to have on the car and take it out. And honestly, just go get some road data. Just see what we're seeing on the road. One of the things that'll be really fun to begin to understand is the difference between the chassis moving and the shocks moving, that each individual wheel moving up and down. Nothing yet, Larry. That was on my list on Monday to talk to UPT and FK about that. Absolutely. So it's been a few weeks. I know that the bearings had been received, the shells and the balls had been received at UPT. I believe they have them had them turned around. I haven't heard anything from FK about assembly thereafter, but I'm going to call a quick meeting with everyone for next week. It's been a month or so, and we'll see what's happening with the bearing project, which I'm excited to see. Any videos from Autometrics? Was it Autometrics that got that? The Mega Crack? I think that was Rapasi, wasn't it? Maybe it was. Yeah, maybe it was Autometrics. No, I have not seen any videos, but we did just get some more pretty pictures of it on a local 4RS that stopped by for a quick, one of Charles' longtime friends that is one of the owners at Speed Factory, for all you Honda guys. One of his best friends has a 4RS he wanted some more power and some more sound out of his 4RS, and he came to us, and we got him a buddy deal for his whole kit and got it installed for him almost the same day. He stood here and paid for it and got it all knocked out. So, oh, that's great. Get me a video. I think he's got a, doesn't Matt have a Mega Crack? So get me some video, Larry. I haven't heard anything. I asked Mike and Matt to get me some video. I got nothing. Everybody's, yeah, I get your video. I got nothing. I got no video. Nobody loves Jamie. Nobody likes to send Jamie videos, but Jamie has to send everybody else videos. What's up? Feel so left out. I like videos. Anyway. All right. We filled up a void of 45 minutes or so. Not bad. It's, I bet. I can imagine it's loud as fuck. There's nothing there. There's cats. That's it. Larry sent us a great video. He shared it with the Track Chat boys of a 220 lap in his 4RS at Coda. Which is awesome. Larry passing everybody, which is super dope. So yeah, a couple things with you guys. This is a helpful hit when you're running MCS canister lines. Run them underneath the tie rod and into the car. By running them underneath the tie rod, you're going to shield them from any exhaust heat. And putting them in the rear frunk makes them a little easier to get to than putting them all the way up on the rear part of the cage. So the Dundon versus Manthe video has not dropped yet. Mike, I told you wrong information earlier this week. Justin and team had planned to have that done, but Justin had a number of other pulls on his time this week, helping get the upstairs organized and helping Dylan stay productive and
To sell.
and getting stuff to sell. Absolutely, getting stuff to sell, getting pictures of things so that we can sell you guys parts, which is important. So next week we will drop that video. But you already know the result. So Mike wrote me, and he knows a guy, so I kind of laid it on him. The rest of you probably know a guy too, but you'll all know soon enough, and a lot of you guys already do. But we went faster, even though all the Manti guys are like, it's not TUV certified, therefore it doesn't matter. Well, the rest of the world disagrees, but thank you for your opinion, and thank all of you for all of your opinions. We always appreciate opinions. And currently I have no more. Oh, I do have this. I do have a check. For those of you who don't believe us that Porsche dealers buy parts from us, here you go. Boom. Thank you, Porsche Fairfield. That was awesome. That ST is going to sound amazing when they deliver it. Amazing. So very cool that Porsche dealers are calling us, buying parts. It's not the first time we've had this. I mean, Porsche North Houston's bought a lot of stuff from us. Porsche Beverly Hills, Champion Porsche has bought a lot of stuff. Who else? The guys in Chicago. What the hell's? Do not recall their name. Yeah, slew of them. So anyway, I got nothing else that's of that important to speak of this fine evening. I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy this fall weather. I know in Texas it's finally car driving season again. Hopefully you guys have another track day coming up soon. And we got our Lab Rat back from glass getting fixed in it. All the broken glass was fixed under warranty, which I'm very thankful to Porsche Tacoma for making that happen. That was great. So we get the car back on Monday. Haven't seen it in a few weeks. It's been gone. So it felt a little empty in here while it was gone. So you guys have any requests for future Whiskey Friday episodes, please drop them in the comments once we post the video. And we'll see you guys next Friday. Good night. Have a great weekend, everyone.